All right, I think we are live. And hello, welcome back to RGLTV's Feed the Kids 2023 Thanksgiving Marathon. My name is Deshana. I'm going to show off one of my favorite games from my childhood, The Legend of Oasis. It is a sequel to the Sega Genesis game Beyond Oasis. And narratively, it's actually a prequel. It comes before that game's story, and it's got a lot of cool features. So I'm gonna not waste any time because we're a little bit behind, and we're just gonna go ahead and start the game. So in this game, also known as Story of Thor in Europe, we're playing as Leon, who is destined to become the Spirit King and gain control over the elemental spirits and stop the evil Agito from destroying the world, becoming an evil lord. I'm not fully sure what the evil guy's plans was. But we're going to stop it. So this game is really cool because it takes full advantage of having a 3D environment and being able to move around in that 3D environment with essentially full freedom. The game obviously has ways that you're supposed to be going through it, but we're going to be taking advantage of the full world existing and kind of skipping through. We were supposed to pick up a second weapon, a bow, that we're never going to pick up, and do a bunch of platforming and combat challenges to get to this point. We've already skipped that. We're supposed to use the bow to get that switch. We're not going to do it because we can hit it from here. I was supposed to use the bow to shoot through this fire and hit the switch. We're not going to do that. We're just going to damage boost our way. And we are at the boss of the first dungeon already. Here's where we learn how to use the gold armlet, shoot out the spirit ball, and first boss time. Manique. Very interesting enemy design. A little bit off. If you are familiar at all with Beyond Oasis, you'll know how powerful that triple spin attack can be. It is even more powerful in this game. I'm a little bit biased, and I do think that Beyond Oasis is more fun, but I do have a third place time in this game on speedrun.com and a fourth place time on Beyond Oasis. So I'm kind of biased towards both games just being awesome, and everybody should play them. I think this game is a better game than Beyond Oasis. There's a lot more to it. The engine is better, but I like Beyond more. That's purely going to be nostalgia because I played Beyond Oasis as a real little kid and only got to Legend as maybe a teenager. Alright, so we're making our way out of the first dungeon now that we've picked up Ditto, the water spirit. We can use her to put out fires, which the game forces us to do to get out. She can also heal us and has a tornado attack. And one thing that was added into this game that a little bit too technically difficult for the Genesis to do with Beyond is weapon enchants. Every spirit has a special spell that they can cast on your weapon that'll augment what it does. And Ditto has the weapon enchant that will raise skeletons back to life. It will kill ghosts and zombies in one hit, and allows for some platforming fun with little spring plants that we're going to see. So we went and talked to our master after getting Ditto to prove that we can use the gold armlet. And then an earthquake happens. Oh, it's an omen. Bad things are coming. So go get the rest of the spirits. So we're going to head out and we're going to go find Ifrit, the second spirit, Spirit of Fire. If you are familiar with Beyond Oasis, there's 4 spirits in that. Ditto, Ifrit, Bow, the spirit of Earth, Lance, and Shade. And all 4 of those spirits do make a reappearance in this game. But in addition, there are 2 new spirits. Brass and Errol, Spirit of Sound, Wind. Now, I did say at the start that this is narratively a prequel. It's set before Beyond Oasis. You may be wondering, well, what happened? Why is there 2 more spirits beforehand? Well, we'll find that out by the end of the game. Obviously, real-world explanation is that the Saturn is a lot more powerful and capable than the Genesis, and so they were able to do new gameplay mechanics and decided to add them in. And that's fair enough for me. I meant to actually equip that. Me grabbing a key here. And unlike Beyond Oasis, which has a weapon durability system similar to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, if you're familiar with that little indie game gem, weapons only have a certain number of uses and then they'll break and you have to pick up more as you go throughout the game. In this one, the weapons do not do that. I think they got some negative feedback about it, so there is a number of weapons in this game, but they all have infinite durability. Okay, now we're using the Holy Rod because it can be used to break trees to get us some keys. We are at the second boss. Get rid of Ditto. Save. The second boss is the Ogre Tank. Again, the triple spin is a little bit broken, so make short work of the boss and move on and grab Ifrit. The Spirit of Fire. He's a little bit beefier than he was in his Genesis appearance. Has essentially the exact same moveset, but his charge attack that shoots out fire in all directions works a little bit differently in this. It actually creates projectiles that interact with gravity and such, instead of just being a circular blast. He's still got the Flame Breath, he still has the Fire Dash, and he'll just punch bad guys if he floats around towards them. He's, I would say, in a casual playthrough, much like in Beyond Oasis, he's pretty much your best bet to just have around most of the time, because he'll have you do extra damage, he'll hit enemies away from you, get you a little bit safer, and then second after that would be Ditto, just for her healing capabilities. So we got our life real low on the fires at the end of the boss room there, and that was intentional. It'd be kind of funny if I was accidentally walking into the fire over and over again. And we'll make a safety save. So we're going to take advantage of a red potion that you see in the top right corner of the screen. That essentially acts as an extra life. When you die, and you have one of those in your inventory, it will bring you back to life with full HP. So we're going to do a Death Abuse to skip 90%, I would say, of the forest dungeon where we're picking up Bow. So we're going to come down here. We are going to lure a fish over to the right-hand side of us. We're going to try and get that fish to hit us while we're at the apex of Leon's. Oh, I don't have... My HP is actually not low enough to die in one hit. That's interesting. That works, though. There we go. First try. Very nice. So there is... You might have noticed I just got rank up when I came back to life. Both this game and Beyond Oasis are semi-RPGs. They don't have traditional leveling systems, but they do have that rank system. And Beyond Oasis, once you got a certain number of kills, enemies would drop a heart that you could pick up to gain a rank. But most players, even casually, I think, just opted not to grab them because it's kind of a pain to do. But they gave you a higher max HP, more MP and a little bit more damage eventually. That was a very slow build up. In this game, I guess they wanted people to make sure that they were gaining ranks, and so it's a certain amount of your max HP being refilled will give you a rank. And so with the amount of death abuses that we do in this game, we do gain quite a few ranks. Yeah, I'm getting myself hurt here because we're going to do yet another death jump. This one's probably going to take me a couple of tries. It takes advantage once again of the world just kind of existing. I'm going to push this boulder and we're going to get underneath it and ride it. Put it on my head. Yeah, nice. First try. Okay. We push this boulder over here. You're not normally supposed to be able to get this boulder over here. As you saw when I dropped it off a cliff and got the key out of it, they break when they fall from almost any height at all. But with Leon crouching on having it on his head, it's just slightly low enough to the ground to not actually break. And we can do that and hitting that switch means we've now skipped almost the entirety of Bao's dungeon and can just go to the boss. Speedrunning is when you love a game so much. You just try to avoid playing it as much as you possibly can. It's true. We're going to do a cheeky little jump over here. Skipping past and into an area we're not supposed to be for quite some time. We're going to put this pot onto this little icicle. Oh, okay, no, Ifrit, please don't. His punch is hot enough that if he was to attack that pot, it would explode and melt, which we don't want because I was using it as a platform. We are on to the third boss. A bulb of some sort. A burr bulb. Come on. Ifrit, help me out here. I found you for a reason. And that's that boss fight. It was a little bit slow, but once again, the default knife and its special move are completely broken and will invalidate 90% of the combats in this game. Oh, sorry, I was taking a drink. So you're picking up Bao, who is the fourth spirit you pick up in Beyond Oasis, third here. Essentially the exact same as he was in Beyond, similar to the other two that we've seen so far. But Bao, his charge up attack, you hold A and then let go. In Beyond Oasis, he sort of pops and slows down time. In this, he pops and shoots out little homing versions of his head. It's kind of funny. We will be seeing that attack at least once. We're gonna summon up Ditto so that we can put out these fires. And we picked up a scroll. I mentioned the special weapon enchants that the spirits have. This is the first one we're gonna see, and the one that's used most often in the speedrun. These little plant bulbs we can throw a little sparkle at, and they'll turn into springs that help us with platforming. And we're going to use that quite a bit throughout the run. A bad guy coming to taunt us early on. Talking about a plague that he's going to cause to our village. So we're going to rush back to the village and see that everybody is okay. Spoiler alert, they are not okay. Come back in. There is a girl on the ground collapsed. This man is collapsing. What is happening? Bad things. Platform to grab a health potion for another death abuse coming up soon. Talk to Ordon, and he says, hey, everybody in the village is not even trying to help that stranger who came in and collapsed. Why? Oh, it's because she has black hair. Right, you know, everybody who has black hair is evil. Everybody knows that superstition, right? Alright, we'll use Ditto to heal her. She knows about the bracelet, the golden armlet, she knows about Agito. old hero Raharl. Oh, she's obviously somebody important. Ordon. Like, okay, the bad things are really happening. We need to make sure we get all 6 of those spirits. Go talk to the girl, see what she knows. Back. Talk to her. And she tells us about 3 cubes that are key to unlocking Agito and defeating. We'll pick up the orange cube. There are a couple of cubes. That's a recurring from Beyond. There's a large cube and a small cube in that game. In this one there's 3. There's an orange cube, a blue cube, and purple cube. I'm going the wrong direction. So we picked up the one, then we gotta go find some other. Another platform here. And I mentioned that using this holy rod, you can bring some skeletons back to life. Here's one that we're going to. And he opens up a back entrance into the forest dungeon. Now we're going to take advantage of a little bit of shoddy coding here. We jump, the river pushes us underneath this block, and then we can just jump on top of it, even though it's higher than what we should be able to jump. Fun. Now we're going to skip once more a large chunk of the next dungeon by doing a fun little jump. And we've got the next cube. Blue cube acquired. Supposed to do a bunch of dungeoning in order to get that. But they put that convenient boulder there, and it lets us jump, so let's just jump. And we make our way out. Now we're going to do one of my favorite, quote-unquote favorite, parts of the speedrun. We are going to do a sequence break and get the spirit shade before you are supposed to. That in the game's intended logic, we're supposed to get Bao like we did, and then go back towards the fire temple. And there is a giant iron ball blocking the way into the 4th level, which houses Brass, the spirit of sound. Using Bao to eat that giant iron ball, we can get inside the dungeon. We're actually never even going to do that dungeon at all in the speedrun. We're going to take advantage of a death abuse, and we're going to go straight to the 5th dungeon and pick up Shade. Now I'm obviously hurting myself to make this death abuse go a little bit easier, a little bit faster. I'm going to head back towards where the 3rd boss was. I'm going to walk around for a second, try and spawn some ghosts over here on the right-hand side, because when I mentioned that Ifrit can explode and melt that iron pot, but we're going to do that now, but on purpose. Now, this might take me a couple of tries, that's why we made a safety save, but hopefully we get it quicker than when I was doing it in practice yesterday. Come on, come over here. Follow me. There we go. Nice, we got a first try. Excellent, excellent. Alright, here is dungeon number 5, being done 4th. What's fun is we don't actually need Brass to do this dungeon when we take clever advantage of game mechanics. Brass is the spirit that can shatter these giant crystals you see throughout the level. And normally you do need to break them in order to get through, but we're going to do some real fun platforming shenanigans and never have to break them until we come back later. And when we come back later, it's exclusively to pick up some keys that we're going to use out of sequence as well. There's only one key in this game. A key is a key is a key. And so most of the routing of the speedrun is figuring out where to get keys to use. Ooh, first try. And when. So we're gonna bow here. We're going to use him to activate a mimic by popping his little head into smaller versions of his head. Oh. And then those home onto this treasure chest. A little mimic friend. And we're going to use the mimic to hopefully... Nope, get out of here, Bow. If I can time this right. There we go. Have him pop us up here. And then we can just jump through that platform. Don't forget this key. I did that yesterday in practice, and that threw off my whole game. We drop this boulder on this rock switch. Activates platform. We ride this platform while equipping the large sword. Which gives us this little green ball. This is Bow's weapon enchant for the large sword that lets us break these stone pillars. This is essentially the only other weapon enchant that the speedrun takes advantage of because it is required. Pick up a second scroll because we want to have each scroll that you pick up of these weapon enchants gives your weapon 3 uses of whatever special effect they are. And so now we picked up 2 of the Earth Sword. We can have 6 total charges. And if we route out the 6th Spirit Dungeon correctly, we need exactly 6 uses of it. So ideally, we do that properly, keep it throughout the dungeon. But if not, we can always re-up it then. We're picking up the first weapon upgrade here. This is the level 2 knife, the battle knife. Our key. Missed the cycle. I wanted to get on that floating platform, but I forgot the route a bit. We're gonna have to wait. Not too bad though. Now I want to make this jump, which is slightly too far of a gap for Leon to make unaided. But this floating platform has to go across a pretty wide path before it comes back. One more key. Enter the screen and exit back out so that we can respawn the guy that's throwing bombs at us. Use his bomb. Oh, rolled into a wall. Use his bomb to summon the Freet. By this point, we should have bombs ourselves, but we do not yet. So we have to use the enemy's bombs for us, really. Push this ball onto a switch. Oops. Killing that guy spawns another one of these green balls, so we can get our rock breaker sword. And wants to actually give it to us. Do some fun platforming here where we make jumps that are, you know, physically possible, but are definitely not intended. Not the way the game designers wanted you to go through this. Oh no! Those bats harassed me. That's fine. It's not ideal, but we'll make that work. I'll just go back up and do it again. I was supposed to ride one of the platforms that had been activated by lighting that torch, but the bats, they got a little bit aggro. We'll wait for that to come back. Anything with wings in a video game is a jerk. It's often birds, but sometimes it's bats too. Alright, so we kept Freet because there's these logs over here and we need them to break. Thanks, buddy. Your service is welcome. Use a rock breaker sword, open up the door. Use it again to activate a platform. Key. Like I said, most of the routing of this game is where do I have keys that I can pick up to make it through doors, because there is no known way to get through a locked door in this game without actually using a key to open it. There's lots of fun out of bounds and other exploits in Beyond Oasis that we can take advantage of. And while obviously, you know, we're going to be using a lot, we've already done so, and we can continue to do platforming abuse like jumping on this frozen zombie's head to skip up to here. But out of bounds sorts of glitches are, they don't exist in this game. Hit this rock switch, and we are going to grab level 2 bombs before we even grab level 1 bombs. The game doesn't mind, it's not actually upgrading anything. It's like, oh, you know, you picked up level 2 bombs. There you go, level 2 bombs. One of my favorite parts of this game is these little electronically driven robots, hinting at the world being much more old and advanced than anybody knows. One of my favorite tropes in fiction is the lost civilization, and this game's got that in spades. I like these little electrical balls. They do a lot of damage. But they also do a lot of knockback, which allows us to skip this entire room. Of course, I'm bad and can't make a jump, so I'll have to do that again. Hopefully not more than once, because our health is kind of low. I can't afford to do that again without healing. Alright, made it next time. There is a healing spot on the ground here that I'm going to use just because dying is bad. Up to our knife and a safety save. This is the 4th boss we're going to be fighting, but it is, once again, the 5th boss in the game's logic. The Ghost Egg. Very interesting creature design. It's got a nose and, like, got a couple of noses. Got one on the top there and one in the front. Many eyes. Lots of holes. And it screams. It eats the souls of ghosts. This thing is straight out of a nightmare. Oh, that's my phone alarm going. So when I'm attacking these ghosts, it's, you know, just to make them not harass me. It does not make the boss go any faster or anything. But if you were to bring... So say you're playing the game casually, right? And this is the 5th dungeon, you've got a lot more exploration and doing stuff under your belt. You could reasonably have 9 to 12 uses of Ditto's Holy Rod. And as I mentioned at the start, the Holy Rod will kill ghosts in one hit, and it'll permanently kill them. Normally ghosts like this, you kill them, they turn into those little wisp forms, and they'll come back after a few seconds. If you've got the Holy Rod and can kill 6 or 7 of the ghosts using that, it will speed up the Ghost Egg transformation, and it will weaken the amount of HP that this ghost snake that just hatched has. So casually, it's pretty useful. In the speedrun, it would be way too slow to go out of our way to pick up those Holy Rod scrolls. And even just bringing 3 in doesn't speed it up enough to be worth routing around to pick up the Holy Rod come in. I did test that, and it doesn't save any time. But this is not a hard fight. You just wait for the Ghost Egg to hatch, and then you attack the snake's tail a few times, and we're moving on. We're about to pick up Shade, the 3rd spirit in Beyond Oasis that you get from a red dragon. 5th spirit here. He looks way cooler, in my opinion, in this version. Summon him off this obelisk. We're going to kill this little thorn here, which only takes damage from shadow sources. Jump in. And we are at the boss of the 4th dungeon. We skipped literally 100% of this dungeon. And we're at the boss. And it's a good thing that we can do this because the dungeon that holds brass that we just skipped is the longest dungeon in the game, and it's not even close. This boss is called Tim Tim, and I don't fully understand why. I missed. So ideally, we didn't let him burrow into the sand ever. We kept him trapped in the stun lock, but that was still a pretty fast fight. In the speedrun, this fight kind of makes or breaks the run, which when you're half an hour into the run, losing it because a boss decided he was going to do the pattern where you can't hit him for 15 to 20 seconds at a time, 3 times in a row, it can be frustrating. We made quick work of him. We're going to summon brass off of these switches while the red demon taunts us. Now, much after the fact of when we normally would, we can break these crystals. So I'm going to grab bombs. This is the first time we've actually had bombs in our inventory, even though we had the item for a while. And normally, if I was doing a PB attempt, I would just grab the 1 bomb and on, but for marathon safety, I'm going to grab 2 stacks. We're going to be doing a bomb jump coming up soon. So, narratively, after you finish a brass dungeon, you need to go back and check on your village. Do that. The river lets you run pretty fast when you're going with its current. Not fast enough to beat those platforms. I don't even know why I have brass still on. Oh wait. These really cool character designs, like a metallic dragon with like Blizzard's Diablo angel wings. Cool. Probably my favorite spirit design in the game. Everybody has collapsed. The village is not doing so good. We're going to heal up Ordon, our mentor. He is going to pass away, as mentor characters are required to do legally in anything. And he's going to bequeath his sword to us, which upgrades our heavy sword to level 2. Makes it do more damage. Kind of useful, but the real reason is we can't get into the final dungeon without it. The final dungeon, the final spirit dungeon. There's more. We're back here in Shade's dungeon. And these little thorns have teleports all over the world. This one takes us back here. And we are not going to bomb jump to get in. We're just going to break it. We actually have brass, like we're supposed to. Welcome in, Rotorstorm. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate that. Get this jumping in. So we're back here in this dungeon, as I mentioned, just to pick up some keys and then beyond. There's a few keys that you're supposed to be able to, use while going through this dungeon. But we didn't have brass, so we didn't pick them up. Now we do. Do some backtracking. That's the one I needed to break. I picked up 2 keys from here. Hopefully I don't run out of energy because you need to break 1 more crystal in here. Close. So break these and pick up a diamond. That upgrades brass so that his abilities do more damage and cost less SP. It's a win-win. Up on our here. So we're going to do our first of many bomb jumps. We're going to take advantage of the fact that the bombs that Leon places are physical objects in the world and can be not only blow you around, with the explosion, but you can also stand on them and jump off of them and such. Take full advantage of how just interactive Ancient may be. Here. Oh, a little bit too far to the right. This is why we picked up extras. There we go. And we skipped a massive mini dungeon and just gone straight on into the entrance of Errol's Temple. Playing this game as intended takes a lot longer than the speed does. Top of the bomb and just hop on up. Oh, aye. This game is very sensitive about hitting different elevations in the ground and that interrupting your ability to run. And so maintaining full run speed as often as, you know, or as efficiently and effectively as you can is a big part of learning the speed run for this game. Which is, it's kind of funny if you've played Beyond Oasis, how unstoppable Aldi is when he's running. You can run into anything and he's just going to keep on going. There's Leon here. It's like, oh, I stubbed my toe on 2 inches of ground. I gotta stop. Doing some platforming, which, because we went back to the village, watched our mentor die and got his sword, it'll actually let us in. I have lost a couple of speedruns that were on PB pace to forgetting to do that, and then you have to redo the whole journey. Fun. Here we are in the 6th Spirit Temple. This is for Errol, the Spirit of Air. He is a puffy pink cloud, and as you can see, air also means electricity. Used through the fires, because we're speedrunners. We want to skip as much of the game as we can. Why stop and do combat when I can just hurt myself and move on? Get more bombs. And the bomb jump up and skip a large chunk of the dungeon. This is a recurring theme. So this dungeon is very dangerous, especially playing it casually. If you fall off any of these sections, this temple exists above the rest of the overworld. So if I fell there without having Shade out to rescue me, I would fall back to the beginning of the game and lose a lot of progress. It's kind of mean. There is a couple of the switch that I just hit in that room right before I fell off does open up a teleport in the overworld that lets you get back here a little bit quicker. So it's not like needlessly cruel. There are some backups, but if you don't know about them and you fall off, boy, that's a bit of a pain. And it's easy to fall off. And see, I'm doing it now, and I've done this many times. These gargoyles harassing me. We're gonna grab another key here. One more bomb jump for us. Oh, I missed that. Oh, ow. Obviously my depth perception not doing so hot at the moment. Fine. Good. Eventually. Kill that guy that starts the platforms and grab the key, but not before letting the platform get close, because those mice will mess up our day if we let them. Alright, we are almost at the boss of this dungeon. As you might have been able to tell from just how much stuff there is that I'm just running by in this dungeon. It is huge, and there is a lot to do when you're playing it casually. But knowing where we can bomb jump onto platforms that'll let us just kind of skip through, and then death abusing through that fire, we don't have to do much of any of it. This next room is the final puzzle, and one that I wanted to not waste any of my Rockbreaker sword on, but 4 is enough. I'm gonna break these poles in this room to open up the boss. Oh, I wasted another use. That's fine. Well, it's just gonna take us another second to do. Aid. And up to summon Ditto. Switch. Torch out. Fish aren't jumping in the way. All we needed her for, so where? One more pillar. And there's the last pillar that we need to break, but luckily there is another orb to re-up our rock rate right there. So it's really like minor efficiency increase to not have to lose it, but that's the sort of thing we look for as speedrunners. Alright, so for this boss I want to have Brass with me. I'm here and summon him off of this switch. We'll do a safety save. You know, anything can go wrong. Marathon luck goes both ways. Alright, there's the silver armlet, the counterparts to the gold one that we have. He's taunting us, telling us that Agito is going to return and nothing we can do about it. Keep thinking that I'm double tapping to do the move that I want, and I'm not. This boss is like a bubble, orange cloud called Warhead. Ideally, we stunlock him using Brass's sound waves and beat on him, run him around. Kind of an inefficient fight, but we made it. I'm gonna get taunted by Agito. And we have Errol, 6th and final spirit. Cute, puffy pink cloud. One more safety save. And we will intentionally fall. This spits us out in the Valley of the Dead, which is the sort of a mini sub-dungeon that we were supposed to do to even get into the entrance of Errol's dungeon. But at the very back end of it, that lets us come back out here into the forest. I'm gonna use a bomb and jump on top of it, get into the river, and head back to the village. And another one of my favorite tropes in gaming is the end of the game being hidden inside the beginning of the game. In the very first dungeon where we picked up Ditto hides the final dungeon of the game. We are going to head back and do that, but you know, we're right here. We could just go in and do it. But that's slower than jumping into this portal, getting into the Shade Dungeon, killing this tentacle. It opens up a portal that takes us right to the end of Ditto's dungeon. Bomb jump up here, because that's faster than anything else. Kill that tentacle. I'm an arrow off of this steam. because, as you may or may not know, essentially all electricity generated, even today, is through steam power. We will destroy an invisible box. Pick up. We are now at the final dungeon. I mean, it's a two-parter. I think I was supposed to have Errol, actually. Still turn a robot on. I also want to heal up. These little orbs are scary, I don't like them. I'm double checking my notes here, because honestly, I haven't played this game more than, like, I ran through it once yesterday to get some practice. I haven't played it since I got my third place run on run.com. So, check what I'm doing with it. Okay, yeah, I remember. I'm supposed to. Normally, an intended route is you use this robot, you turn him on, walk him over. We're just going to eat some giant ginger to grow huge, and then jump the gap. I remember now. Bomb jump up here. Roll under that. I think I need Errol for this room. I do. Okay. That means backtracking a bit. We have some wiggle room in our estimate for some mistakes. We can summon right here over this light bulb. Back those thorns, because they only die from shadow. And I can attack them. Fun story, if you saw health bar that showed up when I dropped that bomb said player 1. There is a hidden 2-player mode in this game, and it summons a clone of Leon for another player to control. I did not mean to summon her. Luckily I activated the platform, or that could have been a soft lock. So I picked up the Holy Rod level 3 there, which does essentially the most damage of any weapon in the game. Clear out these bomb throwing guys and these zombies to get out of our way. Bomb jump up here. Not ideal to use our elixir there, but it's also not the end of the world. Safety save here. Gonna do a couple of bomb jumps. Grab keys. Guy's gonna try. if I can. Come on, guy. That is a mimic. bomb jump, one more key. Healing there. Harassed by the fireballs. Wanted arrow, didn't I? But I can scan. Oh, there it is. Yep. Remembering the game as we're playing it. We're speedrunning and learning at the same time. Need arrow to open this treasure. Blue potion. Bomb jump through the fire because it's faster than finding a way to summon Ditto. Oh, you can jump. I promise. Ride our little cloud friend. Hopefully get it past without being nice. Save. Have arrows, weapon enchant, wind rod. We will be taking advantage of. Jump properly to leave the room. Over there. Good. Missed the cycle. What this allows us to do is push objects. So we can get that key off of the otherwise too high platform. And we can use it to push this little mouse onto that switch. Open the door. This guy. He's wanting to be very mean today. Tell him to open the door and grab a key. Crack in the ground here. Summon Bow to bite it open and grab a key. Normally you're supposed to puzzle platform those things, get them all in a row so that you can jump up here. We're just going to use a bomb. Arrows, wind rod to push. Wisps. Once more. Do a bomb jump. Need this. But I like to pick. And here, going to be a little mini boss gauntlet of sorts. First round is a bunch of these little tentacle balls. Extremely gross. Shade can hit them and kill them in one hit. Summoned him. We get the spirit, which we can kill in one hit with Holy Rod, just like we got that. And then a set of 3 large screaming charging who we will ideally not die to. Hurt a lot. And we died. Oh, that's why we make safety saves. Ouch. Yeah, they do so much damage. So what you want to do is you have the first 2, the silver ones hit the gold guy onto their heads, and then you can stun lock them with the spin attack. The gold one just kind of shrugs it off. Yeah, we didn't lose too much time. Just a little bit embarrassing. Game over in my speedrun. Almost got it though. Alright, once more with feeling. I'm hopefully not the feeling of dying. Stop doing that. It's very easy to get into a stun locked pattern. This sword outranges all of your attacks. Come on, Bow. So for safety, instead of this blue magic potion, I could have an elixir that would restore my full health if I die. Ideally, I keep this blue potion into the actual, like, the final dungeon. There's a boss there that very easy to run out of magic on. But yeah, for safety, since we had that happen, I'm going to summon Ditto and heal before the gauntlet. Like a little bit marathon safe. The Z-axis that these things occupy is often wildly inaccurate to what it looks like they are. Determining what height I want Shade to be at to hit them can be a bit of a challenge. Get them to knock this guy up. There's one. Oh, alright, only one more guy. Unfortunately, I forgot to dismiss Shade, and so we lost the magic potion anyway. It's fine. Not the end of the world by any stretch. And that nets us the purple cube. Now we have all 3 cubes. We have the power to stop Agito. In theory. Grass. Sound waves can disrupt those wisps. Re-up on health here. SP. Magic power. Progress. We're getting to the end. Getting to the end. Shade, because there's a thorn we need to kill. Him and the arrow. Ow. The violence with which he gets thrown back. Alright. Pick up the Rockbreaker sword here from one of the little drops. Make this robot push this rock. Iron ball, not a rock. But that, in turn, opens these doors. And lets us get up here. We don't actually need that box. I'm self-distracted. Get over here. You need the air rod to push the pot on here. more. And that's the final key of the game. We are done with keys. We are making it into the final gauntlet of boss battles. Hooray! We'll save. Heal up. I will, for marathon safety, actually re-summon Arrow. We're gonna pick up an elixir just for safety's sake. Thanks, guy. Not like I wanted to get past you anyway. We can use her to open up this box here. The nice thing about this little gauntlet at the end here is after each boss there is a chance to get another elixir, so you're pretty safe if you want to play it. We obviously, if you're speedrunning, if I was going for a PB attempt, would not want to take the time to do that. Boss, I did it incorrectly, but he has one of my favorite ways. You just lay down on the ground to dodge his attacks. Whoop. Let me take a nap. First boss done. Ow. He can open this crack here. Come on. To me. Which lets us get Ditto. Ah! That was so dumb. Why did I do that? Okay. Gotta wait for this platform. Ditto is invaluable on this boss fight. We're gonna now fight the red demon who's been taunting us throughout the game since the very first dungeon. And we're gonna take full advantage of Ditto's bubbles freezing to just kind of keep him in place. He's allowed to just roam around and do what he wants. He is a bit of a nightmare. He just took off like 2/3 of my HP with one attack there. Bouncing around like he's a balloon. We got him. It's all big and pops. And here for marathon safety's sake, I would like to... Now I'm just gonna literally just be dead, so... Guess I'm gonna have to refill my magic and health with my elixir. Hope that I don't die on this boss. Brass. He does a ton of damage to this guy and stops him from pushing. Cool. This is not going super well to start. Brass's sound waves do enough damage where we're all good. I have to play this next room really safe though, because I need to pick up the safety elixir. And I can't die. But it's pretty dangerous, actually, to unlock the elixir here. There's a bunch of invisible enemies that are going to try and poke me. Hopefully we don't have too much bad luck with it. You see a couple of them spawning in there. Magic and then attack by moving. Move by attacking it. No, another one spawned down there. Called Hell Arm, which is a very appropriate name. Gotta be at least one more of them. But no. We have to kill them all and then the elixir will spawn, so I'm kind of worried that one of them spawns somewhere isn't going to be around. Would not be great. Oh boy. Where are you, my friend? Right there, yep. Getting inside the thorns. Okay. There we go. Ooh, a little bit too low on the HP for my comfort. But we made it. Obviously going a little bit slow here just for safety's sake. PB attempt, I wouldn't even grab the elixir at all, let alone waiting and healing and all that, but fine. So we summon Brass here. He says, all of the bad guys are too tough for me. I'm going to sacrifice myself to give you a better knife. And that's the knife that you use in Beyond Oasis, and that is what happened to Brass and why he's not around. He sacrificed himself. Here is the Silver Gauntlet fight, which... I was hoping she wouldn't get a chance to summon any bad guys, but it's fine. Attack the zombies and summon Ifrit with the bombs. She likes to teleport around, she likes to block your attacks. It's not my favorite. But if we, yeah, just kind of bounce her around with the rod, it's not too bad. There's actually her plan was to be defeated by us because that empowers Agito and lets him fully reform. So, whoops, played in the bad guy's hands. Safety save, and we are about to enter the final dungeon of the game. Final battle, rather. This is obviously the final dungeon. We're going to heal up first. And then, before you go in, I skipped the dialogue box, but the game does tell you, Errol asks you to summon her in the final fight, because you need her power to defeat Agito. So if you do, and then when you come in here, she sacrifices herself to put this magic circle on the ground for the fight, and that's why she is not in Beyond Oasis. So here is the final fight. Agito, the evil mastermind. He's less gross looking than he is in Beyond. So here's the secret to success in this fight is you bait him into throwing out that blue spirit so that you can summon Ditto. And then with the blue on the ground there, you can just keep her healing and essentially be immortal. He's in a pattern of just throwing out fireballs, which is not great. What you don't want is Ditto to do that. Shoot her bubbles at him, because that will cause this blue barrier to form, and when he has that blue barrier on him, any attacks you do against him actually heal him, which obviously we do not want this to happen. So, as you can see by me just getting bullied and pushed around, this fight is difficult, even knowing what to do. So we want to, once again, get him on fire, so he'll summon Ditto. He does not seem to want to do it. Easiest way to make sure he gets on fire is to have a freed attack him. That forces this blue one out. I hate this move. Stop it. Can't even get a hit in edgewise. Come on. So now he's starting to summon these pink balls, and what those do is if you let them touch the spirit you have summoned, it will despawn your spirit. So I'm actually going to intentionally run into those. God, he's being so mean. Yeah, this fight is a nightmare. Even, you know, making it as easy as possible with Ditto and all, it's still just kicking my butt. I can't even stand up. All right. Goodness gracious me! Stop it! You're so mean! Alright, there's one hit left. Oh. There we go. Okay, and that's time. 1:12:12. Not a perfect time. I had some real troubles there with Agito, but that's Legend of Oasis. Or more accurately, that's like 25 to 30% of Legend of Oasis. We skipped most of the game. Yeah, that's been me. I hope you've been enjoying the marathon so far. I know I have. Thanks to everybody who is donating for this great cause. Random Acts is a great charity, and I am very happy to be able to take part in this year over year. I will be back on Sunday playing Ninja Gaiden, so I hope to see some of y'all there as well, and I hope you keep giving generously and enjoy the rest of the marathon. Thanks.